The FIA are clamping down on flexi-wings, the return of the alternative tyre allocation, and will we see a wet race in Monza? Let's get into the latest in the F1 world. The FIA have been looking at flexible wings for a while now, but are now starting to crack down more severely on teams who they believe are taking advantage of what's allowed. Some teams had reportedly been advised to change their front wing designs to avoid breaching any rules around the Azerbaijan Grand Prix in April. This reportedly included Aston Martin, and this is thought to be a reason behind their drop in performance before the summer break. In a technical directive sent to teams ahead of the Dutch Grand Prix, the FIA stated it believes the teams are exploiting regions of purposely designed localized compliance and relative motion between adjacent components to significantly enhance their car's aerodynamic performance. If any teams are doing this, the FIA has stated they are in breach of Article 3.2.2 of F1's technical regulations that say all components that influence aerodynamic performance must be rigidly secure and immobile. While the FIA do conduct load tests on the rear and front wing elements over a weekend, they believe that teams may be using systems that can't be detected in these usual ways. To overcome this, the teams will now be required to submit assembly drawings and images that show that their front and rear wing elements are fixed to the nose or rear impact structure. While they've already issued this directive to teams, the FIA will not formally introduce the new procedures until Singapore, meaning that the teams can run their current cars in Monza. The alternative tyre allocation format, first introduced in Hungary, will make a comeback in Monza this weekend as F1 and Pirelli trial it as a possible permanent format for the future. The alternative tyre allocation, or ATA format, means each driver now gets 2 fewer dry tyre sets for the weekend, 11 instead of the usual 13. This is made up of 3 hard, 4 medium and 4 soft sets, but the big change is to qualifying, where drivers now have to use a hard tyre in Q1, a medium in Q2 and a soft in Q3. This is unless it rains and the session is declared wet, in which case the drivers are free to use any tyres, including the wets and intermediates. The aim of the new format is to improve the sport's sustainability, as it significantly reduces the number of sets of tyres used over the season. But Pirelli feel that it offers a wider range of strategy options for the race, as the team has more tyre sets available to them at that point in the weekend than they typically would. Because of this, Pirelli are bringing the C3, C4 and C5 compounds to Monza, which is one step softer than 2022. Last time this format was used in Hungary, Mario Isola, Pirelli's motorsport director, said that the new qualifying format presented drivers with new challenges, like the need to adapt quickly to the change of compound. Might this be the same this weekend? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Wet weather has been a persistent theme across the European F1 races this year, as the last several race weekends have seen at least some wet running, but will this be the case in Monza? Currently, the weather forecast is looking less wet than Zandvoort, with only a small shower looking possible for Friday's FP2 session and Saturday's FP3 session. Luckily for fans in the grandstands, Sunday currently has a 0% chance of rain, but will be warm, with the temperature rising to 29 degrees Celsius. This could make for an interesting race in terms of tyre degradation, especially given that Pirelli are bringing their softest compound range to the Temple of Speed. You caught up with the latest in the F1 world. What do you make of these stories? Let us know in the comments and like this video if you enjoyed it. And of course, subscribe to Apex for the latest in the F1 world.